Thanks, Jess. And several Missouri state lawmakers are working to pass a bill that would allow women in prison to stay with their newborn babies for up to 18 months. This bill is called Missouri Prison Nursery Bill and passed through the Senate today.
ABC 17's Layla Mitchell is live in our studio and has more on the Correctional Center Nursery program. Layla, this bill would not apply, though, to all women in prison.
Deb and Lucas, the goal of the program is to keep women from going back to prison and keep kids out of the foster care system. The program would apply to women with minor charges that keep them in prison for around 18 months. In Missouri, when a woman gives birth in prison,
within 24 hours of delivery, that baby is literally yanked from the mother's arm and given to a family member, foster care, or up for adoption.
Republican State Representative Bruce DeGroat is one of several lawmakers working to change that.
The number one thing for me was keeping babies safe, right? After visiting the prison in person, these babies are going to be safe.
Not only would the program work to keep kids out of the foster system, but DeGroat told me other states that have this program saw fewer people going back to prison after getting out.
Illinois, we talked to Maggie Burke, who's a warden there. She was responsible for that program. In 10 years, she only had one person who participated in the program come back to prison.
The nursery would be built in Missouri's Vandalia prison, the only prison in Missouri that houses pregnant women.
Speaking with the warden from Illinois, it's almost like you're not in a prison.
DeGroat told me the bill has bipartisan support. One vote against the bill is Republican State Representative Sarah Walsh. Walsh sent me a statement stating that she simply does not think children belong in prison. Deanna Alonzo, CEO of a local foster care and adoption system in Columbia, said if done safely, she could see the benefit of the program.
I would have a lot of questions, and I do believe that it will reduce the recidivism rate among, inmates, mitigate long-term exposure to foster care.
If Missouri passes the bill, it will be the 10th state to implement the prison nursery program. The program would cost the state around $1 million. In the program, the mothers and babies would be in a separate wing of the prison. The babies would have medical care, and the mothers would have to take classes on child care.
Okay, Layla, thank you. If the bill is passed, the program would not be implemented at the Vandalia prison until 2025.